Hi, it's ICOM time again. There is another, yeah, it is really another IC-706, and this radio came in with a fault description that, after a short while the output power is dropping to almost nothing. So yeah, I've been told that it is working right in the beginning when you switch it on, so without any problems, but then after a short time of operation, no power output. Okay, so let's see if we can verify this fault description, and well, then let's crack it open and see what's going on. And here we are already on the bench, ready for testing, and yeah, radio is already set up, and as always we are performing a short receiver test just to be sure that receiver is working. And yeah, shortwave, it is set to upper sideband, and it is already connected to the generator, and as you can hear, radio is receiving. I'm feeding in -73 dBm, and it should be about S9, so alright, so the reading might be a little bit too low. I don't want to check now all the receiver parameters. I just wanted to know if radio is receiving, so that we know which circuits in the radio are working and which not. So okay, so that is now on shortwave, and now I have to put our RF connector to the second antenna input, which is for our VHF and UHF signal pass, and that is what I want to check as well, to be sure that everything is good. So let me switch the radio to, yeah, so that is perfect, 145 290, and now let me set the generator to 145 290 megahertz, and yeah, you already see there is a carrier obviously, and let's put in some deviation, which we have right now, and yeah, so as we can hear, there is receive on the second signal pass, VHF, and most likely as well on UHF, but I do not want to check this right now. I just wanted to know if in general is there in general VHF and UHF receive. So that is obviously working, and then we can directly check our transmitter parameters. Okay, so back to shortwave, and I've connected the microphone, and well, single sideband is now for testing not the best idea, so I gonna set it to frequency modulation, because as we know, we will have full carrier on FM, and yeah, what we want to check is of course our output power, and so therefore our meter is already connected to the radio. One second, that we have it good in our field of view. And okay, so it is set, as I said, to frequency modulation, and let's see what we have. So pressing, oh, pressing our carrier, so it is 0, so that it's jumping a little bit, and it is not full power right from the start. So this is only 600 milliamps. So let me see what the setting is on the radio. So let's go and see what we have. RF power is set to 3, so let's crank it up to the max. So now RF power is set to high, which is now full power, and should be approximately 100 watt. So that should be available now at the output of our radio. So now with the setting high, I will press again the PTT and okay, so there is something wrong, really wrong with our power amplifier, I guess. So okay, we need to check if the signal coming from our main unit is working, but yeah, so far I would say something is wrong with our power amplifier. So let's check if we put the radio back to VHF, which is here, and now we need to read our power here at our communication tester. So that will be here on the right upper field, and let me press. The radio is on 145/290, which is VHF, and it is, let me double check, yeah, it is set to high power, and yeah, now let me press PTT, and yeah, that is almost nothing. You may see it on the right hand meter here. So there is a dot, don't forget it. So that is 200 milliwatt. So that means on both signal passes, so that means shortwave and the VHF signal pass, we have a low power output, and yeah, so that is a little bit interesting, because that could mean that there is in general something wrong with our power amplifier, or our main board is not delivering the driving power or driving voltage, whatever you want to call it. So that both could be possible. So therefore next will be we have to crack it open and see what is really going on here in this radio. Alright, we are in, and the first we can do is just for a short check, are all the DC powers available. So at minimum here at our power amplifier, so our driver board is shielded, so we do not have direct access, but just to see if the circuit basically is working. So if there is the DC power at least at the power amplifiers, which gives a little indication on what is going on, we can check it with the radio switched on. So let me see if you can see somehow. Here's the meter. So meter is a little bit dark, so maybe that way, and here we have our power supply of the power amplifier, the final stage, and as you can see there we have our 13.5 volt, and we can most likely see the same result here on the second one, and yeah, you can see the voltage is available. So that basically means that we have voltage here on our power amplifier board, and that means so there is nothing wrong with any fuse or whatever. So that is the first indication. And well, next is let us simply feed in some external signal directly into our power amplifier to see how the amplifier will behave with an external signal, because there is still the possibility that the driver information from the main board is not there. So therefore we simply feed in an external signal and see how our power amplifier behaves on that signal. Okay, and down here, this is our main unit. So what we do right now, we pull the little connection off the main board, and this is now the connection to the power amplifier. So that means this is at least the driving input, if you like. So we need to put a signal into here to see if the power amplifier is working. So, and if we put a signal into here and we still do not have an output, then we can be nearly sure that we have a problem on our power amplifier board. So this will be now next. Okay, so setup is ready. So first of all, we can now measure the output level here, and that is, if you like, the drive which will supply our power amplifier with the signal. And yeah, now it is important to know if we have a signal or a drive power here on this output. And as I said, it is the output from the main board towards our power amplifier. And when I now push the PTT, let's see. Okay, so that is the output from our main board, main unit. And it is -4, yeah, approximately -4, which is most likely good. So I do not have exactly the level in mind, but anyway, -4 should be sufficient to be able to drive our power amplifier. And as far as I can see it here right now, it is stable approximately at -4 dBm, and that is a nice drive power. Okay, so now we want to check what will gonna happen if we drive our power amplifier with -4 dBm. So what will be the output power? Okay, and therefore I've set up my generator, and we start with -20 dBm, and this generator is now simulating our main board. So as we have seen on the main board, we were able to pick up a signal of about -4 dBm, and yeah, we're gonna start now simulating the same with the signal generator here, and we start, as I already said, with -20 dBm, and let's see what the behavior is of our power amplifier. So okay, let's see what's gonna happen if we drive with -20 dB out of our generator, and yeah, so let's see what's gonna happening. Okay, with minus 20 dBm. Have a look. So that is odd. So I'm measuring average power as we are on frequency modulation, and yeah, what we can see is that the power is obviously dropping. So well, but anyway, with the external drive, and we still on minus 20 dBm, we definitely have output power, but as you can see, it is not stable. So look at this. So as we are on FM, we should have a carrier which would not move if everything is good, but you see the carrier is dropping as longer I'm pushing the PTT. So back to 31, and you see these jumps, and these jumps are definitely not okay. And you have seen we started with 45 watt approximately, maybe a little bit more, but now we are losing output power. Yeah, that is definitely an odd behavior. So something is really going wrong. Have a look. So something is definitely not okay, and just to go to this generator, you see we are on minus 20 dBm, and that is oops, that's our meter. That is still the drive, and you see it's dropping. It's dropping down more and more. 16. So we came from 45, and you see it is definitely dropping. Okay, so let me try. So we know that the original drive from our main board is somewhere around minus 4 dBm. So let me increase my signal generator. So minus 19, 18, 17, 16, 16. So this is 16, minus 16 dBm. Minus 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, minus 7, 6, minus 5, minus 4. So that is a drive which we can see coming from the main board. So this is now exactly the same drive, and you see now we have an output power. Yeah, you really see jumping it. So something is definitely wrong. Again, we are on average power, and now 140 watt. So really something is wrong. something is definitely wrong. And I'm still monitoring on my level meter the power coming from our main board, and it is it dropped down a little bit with increased heat, so it is now minus 4.5. So maybe it is going to minus 5. So let me set my generator to minus 5. Now the generator is at minus 5, so it is now nearly the same what is coming from our main board. And you see we have 139 watt, but as I said, it is not stable. Something is going wrong. Now I put back the connection to the main board, so now the power amplifier is connected directly with the main board, so the drive will come now from the main board again. And yeah, let's see what the power is right now. And yeah, that is funny. That is really funny. So you see now the radio is definitely producing 134 watt, which is almost good. No, not almost, it is good. Not almost good, it is good. It is too much. It is 33 watt too much. But anyway, now it is working, and we have seen with the first test we was not able to get 1 watt out of the radio. So there is definitely something wrong, and it looks like that there is a problem on the power amplifier board. But well, now we really need to wait until we have our fault again, because for the moment in time, yeah, as you can see, it is working nearly perfect, but we know something is odd, and now we need to wait until we get exactly the same behavior to go more into the details. Alright, so I left the unit alone, and now the unit is completely cooled out, so we just start from the beginning, and let us see what's going to happen now, if we have now again the same fault or not. Yeah, therefore we are going to switch on our power supply, and the radio just fires on, and yeah, it's cold, and let us immediately check what's going on right now. So radio is still on FM. Okay, so let's see. Oh my goodness. Okay, radio is cold and power output is 157, I don't know. So, you know, that is completely different to what we had before. So remember, when we tested it first time, we didn't have even 1 watt. So the output power was completely down, and now we have a complete different situation, and that is really an odd situation, and it is a little bit the worst whatever can happen if you are working on a radio and you suddenly do not have the fault anymore, but you have to expect that the fault is only hidden. I believe the fault is still there, but for any reason the fault will not shown up right now. So that can have different reasons. So maybe we had simply a bad connection. So maybe that the connector here was with some dirt, and that now the oxide is gone. So that could be an explanation for this situation. Or there is somewhere a cold or dry solder point which is causing this right now, or yeah, something like that. Maybe a thermic problem. So we do not know. The problem is, you know, we do not see the problem anymore. So this is really, yeah, so this is not satisfying, because if there is no fault, you can't really search for it. I mean, what we could do, we could take off all the boards, and we could look out for dry solder points. So that would be one thing we could do, but you know, other than that, it is really difficult. So therefore, next step, I leave now the radio running, so we really heat it up for an hour or so, and then let's see if there is still the same behavior. So that means that we still have full output power. So for the moment in time, everything it's looking fine. I mean, it's clear that the power is dropping a little bit while the radio is getting warm, and I mean 150 watt output power, so that is a bit. And so this drop here, I would say that is normal, so no problem whatsoever. But anyways, I mean, you know, what can we do right now? So we have to wait and hope that the fault will come back, or well, it is definitely difficult to say everything is good right now, because we don't know. We simply don't know. So again, that is really the worst what can happen. I mean, we all have definitely seen the problem before, and we have seen, you know, the output power jumping around, which is of course an indication that something is wrong. And well, but now unbelievable. So okay, I leave it now as it is, and we will let it run, let me say, for an hour or so. Then the unit will be definitely completely warm, and then we gonna check it again. But for now, yeah, nothing else to do than wait. Well, it is now 4 hours later, and well, what can I say? I set the radio really under pressure, so I really pushed it to the limit, and yeah, what can I say? Radio is really showing full power without any problems. So the radio itself is really hot. So wherever you touch it, it is through and through really hot. So you can't really touch it at the body. So you know it is really hot, and I'm not anymore able to reproduce the fault. Yeah, so that is a little bit frustrating. You know, if you can't reproduce it, then you can't search for it. So that is really the problem. And yeah, I have tried it with heating it up, cooling it down. I have really tried to go over the board and try to find maybe a bad connection or such. But yeah, whatever I did, no reaction. So the radio is still putting out full power. And well, I think I have to stop today, and I gonna try it tomorrow once again. Then the radio is cold, and yeah, let's try another cold start. So maybe we have then some symptoms, and if not, as we know, it must be somewhere here in the power amplifier stage. I'm gonna take the complete power amplifier out and look if we can find some dry solder points. So that might be a reason for what we are seeing here. Because, you know, I have so much moved all the wires and the board itself. I pressed it down and whatever you can do. So maybe that if there was somewhere a bad or dry solder joint, then maybe it is now for the moment in time good, and maybe after a while, you know, when you push it and if you use it in the car and you know, all the vibrations, so maybe that it will then come back. So well, on the other hand, it could be that it was corrosion on you know, the little corks which is coming here from the main board, and well, we have disconnected it just to do our measurements, and if we really had some corrosions down there, so that could also a reason for that. But yeah, as I already said, so this is the worst whatever can happen to an engineer, because you really don't know where to look. So okay, that's it for today. I stop. And as I said, I leave it alone, and we try to reproduce it tomorrow with a new cold start, and then we see what we can do else. Okay, this is another day and another try. So I'm going to switch on the radio, which we have now, and yeah, let's see what the radio will do after cold startup. And yeah, still transmitting without any problem. And well, for all of you who may know the problem here with the gasket, that is something I have already thought about, and it seems not to be the problem. Also, you know, you have this here a little bit bended, which sometimes is known to make a short between this coil here, down here. So this is a DC, or not the DC, this is a supply coil for our UHF and VHF stage. So sometimes if this here is much too loose, then you may have a contact between this coil and this gasket here, and that will short out the DC supply. But then sometimes there are burning marks here on the trace, but it could be that there is something on the other side. So that might be a possibility, but I have already tried it, and when I put it completely here back to the radio, so there is no problem at all, so there is definitely no short. So I have really pressed it here on the circuit, and no problem whatsoever. So that is not the problem. I mean, we want to have an eye on that, and we want to fix this problem, that we will bend it back, and maybe we put a little solder point on here so that this can't get off in this way. So that might be a problem, but in this case it seems not to be the root case. So, well, still the same question, what's going on here on the board, and yeah, as I don't see anything on the board, so there is nothing obvious. Yeah, well, we can we could decide and say, okay, that must have been some corrosion on the corks, but yeah, that maybe, but I do not really rely on that. So I think it might be better to see what we can find on the board. So maybe everything is okay, and maybe we really had some corrosion problems, but yeah, let's better make it sure that we can give it back with not that bad feeling what you all know who are dealing with electronic like this, if you do not really know what has happened, and if you have to give a device back without being sure what's really going on, then you know it is always this bad feeling. Okay, so I've taken out the PA board, and I've checked the solder work, and here are some parts where you can see corrosion, and you can see some solder joints which could be not that good, but I don't think that this is really the problem. So all in all, it is good. But well, when I talk about there must be a problem somewhere in the power amplifier path, then that means it is not only the power amplifier as we have it here, because this is only the power amplifier without any filtering. And when we look over here, so this here is of course our low-pass filter board, and yeah, you know, the low-pass filter board is always a problem, because we have really a lot of this relays which are switching between the different bands. I mean, we didn't have any problem with the band, so there is no reason to think about some of this relays, but there is of course our antenna switch, which is switching between transmit and receive, and that could be the problem. So maybe that we have a problem with our antenna switch, and that is something we need to look into. Now next will be, I will rework some solder joints, but as I said, I do not really think that this is a problem. And additional to that, I did some capacitor test, electrolytic capacitor test. So I was checking this electrolytic capacitor with ESR meter just in case, but all the capacitors here on the power amplifier board are more than fine. Also they are only 85 degree rated, and this area really gets hot in operation. But anyways, there are no problems with the electrolytic capacitors, no problem whatsoever. So I think, yeah, I will do the rework here on the board, but anyways, I do not believe that that is a problem. So I'm now more thinking that we have a problem with our transmit and receive switch, because that is now, you know, the last the last possibility, more or less, where we could have the problem. And I mean, we have seen the carrier jumping. You certainly remember. So it was jumping, and that all could belong to a relay problem. So that is what we need to check out after we have reworked the power amplifier, and we will then install it back to the chassis. And if that is completely back, then we can check here our relay board a little bit more in depth. Okay, I have reworked the power amplifier board down here, so everything is now back here in the chassis, and now I am ready to go a little bit more here in detail on our filter board. And yeah, so that is what we want to check right now. So for the moment in time, the radio is connected, and if I press now the PTT, so you see we have again our power available. So everything seems to be in very good order, but yeah, we know something is wrong, and we need to look a little bit more here into detail. So the first I wanna do is to connect the radio right now to the spectrum analyzer, just to be able to see if there is any noise with the carrier. So if there is noise, then so that will be suspect, right? So normally we would see a clear spectrum, and if there is noise with it, then yeah, maybe there is something here with our relays. Okay, and as I said before, so our filter board is really suspect. So I believe that something is wrong with our relays, and I've now changed the radio to I've changed the bands to 160 meter, and yeah, simply watch our power meter when I'm press the PTT. Have a look. So do you see it jumping again? And yeah, that shows that we definitely have a problem here on our filter board. And well, this radio is really some years in service, and as I already said, I found corrosion on the power amplifier board, and yeah, so there are everywhere some corrosion signs. So this radio obviously had a hard time, and therefore it is not really a wonder that you know, the relays are, you know, not that what they should be. So therefore let me check it a little bit more, and then I will be back with some update. Okay, so and I have on different bands different behavior of our filter board, so it seems that there are really some of these little relays are not any longer intact, so they are producing problems. But no problem, I have here another board, so that is nice and refurbished board, so I know this board is working perfect. And yeah, in this case, because what we really would need to do, to change all the relays, because it doesn't make any sense to leave one of these old and damaged relays here in the filter board. And therefore, you know, it is really a good idea to swap it and to put in here a complete new filter board. And that is what we want to do right now. I'm gonna change it completely, and yeah, then let's see what the result will be. Okay, so here is our old filter board, which is now out of the chassis. And yeah, I just wanna install the new one, and yeah, let's see what the result will be. And finally, with the new filter board inside, the radio is working really nice. So no problem whatsoever, and all the instabilities we have seen on the power meter are gone, and so the unit seems to be working fine. I just gonna perform some final tests, but in any kind, so it is really looking good. Okay, I have tested all the different bands, and I have readjusted the radio a little bit, and now we are really having 100 watt on all the bands, which is good. And that is sorry, I've really forgotten, with the old board, yeah, we had instability, but beside that we didn't get the full power on the different bands, so that means that some of these relays must have some internal attenuation, and so that is now good. So we definitely have wherever I go. So let me go down to, I don't know, to 80 meters. So that is now 80 meter, and you see, yeah, we have definitely our 100 watt, and that is now on really all the different bands. So with the new filter board, the radio is working just fine. So I'm now 100% sure that some of these relays are producing attenuations which should not happen, but it is a kind of normal that after a long time of operation you get trouble with these relays. Also, they are completely in a plastic housing, but that do not prevent the relays from getting worse. So that is the case here, and yeah, now with the new filter board everything is good. I have to admit I'm quite happy, because if you are looking for a fault and you can't reproduce it, then you know it is really a little bit you do not have a good feeling, and it is always a good idea to stop fault finding and leave it alone. Go back to your work on the next day, start with new ideas, and that is what I have done. And yeah, you see, I am now at the end, and we have really a nice working radio back, and this radio definitely will work for another couple of years. Okay, so I'm gonna close the video right now. Thank you all for watching, and yeah, I'm just closing now. The chassis radio goes back. We all are happy, hopefully, and well, if this video made any sense for you, please give me a big thumb up for this video, and yeah, catch you all next time. Bye!